Dum dee diddle hi dum do hee lie dum dee diddle hi dum do hee lie dum dee diddle hi dum do hee hiddle 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 hi dum do. Where are we today, boys and girls? The Wagon Way, William, that's right. Now, we have actually visited here before, haven't we?
Yeah.
But we didn't know very much about its history, did we?
Whoa, echo.
So, yeah, now we've got an echo. So, this was something called the Wagon Way. And this is one of the reasons that Alloa became so successful. Because not only did we have the coal, but this enabled us to do what?
Railway?
What did this let us do with the coal?
Transport it.
Transport it. And where did we need to transport it to?
Pretty much everywhere.
Well, where specifically in Alloa did we need to? So the coal was away inland about 3 or 4 miles. Where did we need to take it to?
Tilcatry?
No, we took it from Tilcatry and we brought it down to the River
David.
Forth. And then from the River Forth we could transport it to Edinburgh or anywhere else in the world, couldn't we?
Yeah.
So, the reason that this was built, the Earl of Mar, or the Earls of Mar, owned lots and lots of land around Alloa. And they had mined coal on the estate around here for hundreds of years, hadn't they, Clay?
Yeah, so I guess it's a story of mine.
Yes, that's right. Now, Edinburgh was the biggest market for the coal. So it was easily reached by the River Forth, but transporting their coal to the riverside was very, very difficult. Now, the 7th Earl of Mar, John, the 7th Earl of Mar, opened a railway in 1768. Now, William, 1768, how long ago was that? Get this maths skills employed here, please.
So, let me think. So, 1768 years later. No, let me think.
Any ideas yet?
So 2016 would be 13 years later. 2038 or 2060, yeah. I'll say it's there. And then take away 50 would be 2018. That'd be 2021. 281.
Nice one.
That's not very exact.
Not very exact,
That's
is it?
an estimation.
An estimation, okay. So, in 1768, they built this railway that ran from Alloa all the way through Sauchie to Fish Cross, which is about 4 kilometres, 2.5, 3 miles maybe. And it was a close copy of a wagon way that was already in place somewhere called Cockenzie. Now, the track gauge was how big, do you think, Chloe? Can you remember?
No.
So what is the gauge? What do we mean when we talk about the gauge of a train track?
Like the bit that you switch it.
No. It's about the width, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the train track was about 3 foot and 3 inches wide, because look it up here. Normally a train track is really quite wide, isn't it?
Yeah.
But this one was actually quite thin. Oh, wait a minute, what's this down here? Chloe, go and pick one of these up. What's this we've found?
Cooking apples?
Is that cooking apples? Go and pick one up and let's have a wee look at one of them.
I'll choose one of the cleaner ones.
Choose one of the cleaner ones, yeah, let's have a wee look. Just hold it in front of the camera for us. Now look at this, these are always about an Alloa, aren't they?
Yeah, wasps love them.
Do they?
They go daft.
Oh
for
look,
them.
Nick, I think I can see where one's been maybe eaten by some wasps just over here.
Do you use them in cooking?
Well, some apples are good for eating and doing whatever with, but other ones are specifically for cooking. I think they're maybe a bit bitter or something, is that right?
Yeah. Although their bitterness is what drives wasps wild.
Oh, is it? Is that what the wasps like about it?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Now, after this was laid, they put some more branch lines in going out from to each of the separate coal mines, didn't they?
Yeah.
Because this meant that they could basically transport loads and loads and loads of coals, way more than they ever could by horse and car or by foot. Hey.
Yeah.
So in 1760, a wagon way, such as has access, it was extended to Collyland. Or sorry, it was such a success, it was extended to Collyland as well. So basically, the first part of this got built, and then everyone realised just how amazing it was, and then they built even more, didn't they?
Yeah.
So this is what really powered the whole of the industry in Alloa, and that's why it's still pretty special that it's still here, isn't it?
Yeah. I thought they'd like put houses over it.
Well, they've put houses right next to it all the way along, and I think there are parts of it that are now gone, but for the most part you can actually walk this entire line all the way to Sauchie. I don't think it goes all the way to Tillycoot, or certainly I think the footpath that is built on is what was the old Wagon Way.
Oh.
So it's now been turned into a cycle lane all the way from here down to Tillycoot.
You know, it would have been pretty cool if the tracks were, some of the tracks were still here.
It would have been really cool, and I think maybe there is parts where there might be tracks. We will have to go and try and find out if there is a part like that and go and look at it, won't we?
Yeah, and if we can't, we'll go back home and track some of those areas.
Hi. So basically by doing this, it meant that they could transport loads more coal, which meant a tremendous amount of growth around here for the workers, for the homes, for the businesses, for everything, didn't it?
Yeah.
So in 1885, or by 1885, it was all worn out and needed renewed. So this was done using a brand new plan. So this might be the new one that we're walking on, rather than the old style one, eh?
Yeah.
Now, what are you saying, William?
It feels a lot smoother.
It's very, well, yeah. Well, tarmac's a lot smoother than the old ways of doing it, wasn't it?
Well, it used to look stones in the road.
Yeah. Now, it is now acknowledged to be the most complete in Britain. So there must have been lots of these all over the country at one point. But I think, like you said, William, a lot of them have all been built over. So we're actually quite lucky that this one is even still here. Is this a wee rowan tree up here, Chloe? Look at them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Rowan.
Have a wee deek at that. Bra, eh?
Yeah.
It's not focusing very well because there's so many little berries. Let's see if we can get a better look at them from close up.
By the way,
That's better.
for their flowers, gatekeeper butterflies go crazy for them.
Oh, so these are a good butterfly one, are they?
Yeah, well, specifically for gatekeeper browns.
Oh, that sounds fantastic, darling.
Meanwhile, raspberries, pretty much all other browns, mountain ringlet included, have brambles.
They love brambles, do they?
Yeah.
So, the sleepers that were used were very broad. Only 18 inches from centre to centre. A rail of fir was pinned down and another rail of the same dimension is laid over the top of it. And the whole well beat up into a good clay. On top of the upper rail is laid a bar of malleable iron. Is 1 3/4 inch in breadth, and nearly 6/8 thick. The wagons were made of cast iron, and the wheels were about 7.5 inches in diameter, and were supposed to weigh about 1 ton each. Can you actually believe that?
That's pretty heavy.
That is incredibly heavy, isn't it?
That's heavy. That's probably as heavy as that car up there.
As heavy as that car up there, I would say so, because that's a nice wee MX-5 there. Now,
It'll be lighter.
do you know what these buildings here are? We can just see.
Churches?
Well, that's the church over the road there, yeah, that's right, William. But that there is the court. That's where you go if you get into trouble. Look, I can just see, look at that drain pipe there. Can you make out those numbers?
No.
Let's see if we can spot it.
1883.
1883 on that drain pipe, William. I think you might be right. Or is it 19?
1983. 1983. It's 1983.
No, that's 1883, son. Definitely 1883. And look, can you see the big,
That's a 6. 1863.
1863. So that drain pipe there is nearly as old as the Wagon Way that we are standing on just now.
Well, not really, because they've probably replaced it a lot.
And can you see the plaque up there as well?
I can't read it.
It's quite a fantastic building, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I always walk past it, but I never really look up the top there, and you've got lots of little pillars and stone things as well, don't you?
Yeah. And look what I managed to find.
What did you manage to find? Oh,
An
show us
empty
that.
snail shell.
Put it up so we can see it. An empty snail shell. That's quite a big one, isn't it?
Yeah, it probably lived for 35 years.
Oh, you think that? So they lived about 35 years?
Well, the common garden snail does anyways.
William, do you want to shout loud, see if there's an echo?
Echo.
A little bit of one, isn't there?
Well, to be honest, look, stalactites.
Oh, stalactites. Let's have a look at this. Where are they? Now, what might these be made out of, Chloe? Do you think that's salt?
Sandstone.
Sandstone. So is that lime
Yes.
that's leaching out of the rocks
Yes,
and turning into stalactites?
as the water dries up, it actually sometimes stays as drips and freezes in place as if they turn to stone.
So is that what's happening here? The lime is seeping out of the bricks around here.
Yeah, when moisture is there.
That's pretty impressive, darling.
Hey, I've got a question.
Oh, what's your question? Tell me.
Why are the biggest houses or buildings never lived in?
Well, I think back in the day, it was what people that had lots of money spent their money on. But in today, you've got heating, you've got all these sorts of things that you have to pay for, you've got taxes, you've got all the rest. So I think they're quite expensive to run. So often the only people that can afford to run them are the institutions and things like that. You know, you have to have an incredible amount of money on your own to be able to run such a big house these days.
One thing, see on the court.
Uh-huh.
We're going to take the roof off here to pay the tax.
Well, there you go. That's what some of them would have done, eh?
Yeah.
That's what we thought they might have done at Tillabole, didn't they?
Yeah.
Right, let's just see where this takes us out. Do you know where we're going to come out here? Look at these girders here to hold the wall up. Isn't that pretty cool?
They're pretty old.
Because that is they are very old. And look at the wall there. Imagine without that what would happen. Crash, smash and bash. Now, I can see a road up here, but which road is this?
The normal rust is ferrous oxide too, and the green stuff, I think anyway, and the green stuff is ferric oxide.
All right, tell us this again. So we've got two types of rust here. We can see them quite well, can't we?
If it's green, it's probably ferric, and the red stuff is probably ferrous oxide.
So what you're going to have to do for me is explain me the difference between ferrous and ferric while we walk.
Ferric and ferrous oxide, basically it's two oxygen atoms, but they're on different places on the iron atom.
All right, so basically exactly the same, but just the atoms are placed at different points.
Yes.
That's pretty amazing, if I don't say so myself. Now, this is a wee interesting bit. So this is where the Wagon Way would have come up, but now it is a road, right? But just over the other side, can you see that wall away up there across the road?
Yeah.
So I think that there's a wee bridge here. Can you see the bridge behind that wall? It looks like part of the wall. So I think that was maybe the bridge that helped take, or was that the railway bridge? That might have been the railway bridge. But there's also a little bit next to it which would have been for the Wagon Way. Oh, right, here. Let's have a wee look. Oh, wow! Guys!
It's a wagon!
It's an actual wagon! Look at this! I didn't know this was here. So look, we can see the actual size of the wheels. Look at that. And we can see what would have been the size of the girders, or the width between them. It does look a bit smaller than a normal train track, doesn't it?
And look at those wheels. Those weighed a ton.
Now, I wonder if this is one of the original wagons. I think it might well be. What's this on the side? Can you read this for me? It's got a date on it.
WV here 1223.
1223. So I think that's maybe more of the number of the wagon, maybe?
Yeah.
What do you think? Right, shall we have a wee read of this sign? and see what it says. Can you read this out to us, please?
Yeah.
Right, start here.
In the late 18th century, John Francis Erskine, later 7th Earl of Mar, continued the industrial improvements to Iowa begun by his grandfather. In 1785, the wooden wagon way was worn out. A completely new track was laid. Broad sleepers were set close together. Rails of foreign fir were pinned onto them, and then another rail was laid on top. They were packed with clay, and then the top rail was plated with bars of Swedish iron.
Oh wow, so that's just what we've been telling them about, eh?
Yeah.
So I'm going to have a wee look here. Oh look, there's Iowa Station. Do you want to read that bit out for us too?
Yeah. The railway opened in Iowa in 1850. A branch line ran to the harbour to serve the industries there. By 1885, Iowa Station was part of a rail network which linked it directly with the villages and collieries of the county. Eventually, the wagon way was no longer needed, though it was still used until 1924. The track is long gone, but the route of the wagon way can still be seen today.
And that's what we've just walked along, isn't it? Oh.
Take a look here. Look at this lichen.
Oh, let's look at this lichen then. What can you tell us about the lichen?
This is known as crab's eye lichen.
Oh, crab's eye. We've looked at this before, haven't we?
Yes.
Tell us a bit about crab's eye again.
It's called that because mature lichen is black. This only appears in spots, and this makes it look like crab's eye. And the white is grey, and the creamish greyish coloration of it makes it kind of look like crab shell.
Right, well we say goodbye to the wagon way.
Bye.
And bye to the lichen.
Bye.